Do you support reparations for Black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
And I'm going to come up and, you know, on the caboose, is that what they say? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm going to bring up my topic as soon as he's done with his. So as I said, I hope you guys are having a great day. What's going on in your neck of the woods? Everybody, we've got 3 people on there today, so I don't know who's watching, but yeah, we just, you know, chilling and like a villain, maxing and relaxing.
It's not raining, so that's a good
Not
thing.
raining, but it's going to rain tomorrow and Sunday. Yes, and Tuesday.
Damn, my pergola kept filling up with water. I had to keep, so it's stretching the thing out there, so I have to deal with it.
So get ready, y'all. Get ready. Stand by. And Samuel, what's happening? You say y'all should get syndicated. Donovan having a boomerang moment. Yeah. You know
Absolutely.
what? I thank you. We received that, speaking into existence, to get syndicated.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to go live. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, you guys. It is Free Flow Friday. Don't believe the hype. Donovan Sadiq. Demetra K is in the house from the Demetra K Show. And as you guys have heard, if you probably have not noticed, Kamala Chameleon Harris is out of the race. But before we get into that, we want to thank those guys that make it happen here. Marcus Guyton, who always gives us a lot of watch groups and stuff like that. We are on all the platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr, you name it, Twitter. We are there. So if you're looking for the information, please check it out. Also check out my co-host here, Demetra K on the Demetra K Show, Facebook Live. You can interact with her. 3 p.m. Pacific.
Go ahead, brother. I know how you feel.
Yes.
You got
Standard time. You guys are going to check her out for the show there. And again, I don't know if you guys saw the last show. What did we talk about the last show?
I don't remember.
Billy Smoothie.
Oh, Billy D.
Being fluent. And as if you guys have been picked up, he has recanted that.
Yeah, and just so we can pick up on that just a little bit. So Billy D. Williams said that he was gender fluid in an article. I guess it was a lot more to it, but that was what people ran with, including us. Said he was gender fluid. He embraced both of his sides, the feminine and the masculine side, and this, that, and the other. I guess once he heard all the backlash about what people were saying about him being gender fluid, he
recommended reading this book that he read.
Yeah, all of that, right. So then he said, and I'm paraphrasing, oh my God, is that what gender fluid means? I'm not that. He says, I'm not gay. No, not saying anything bad about gay people.
I like big titties, big ass, big everything.
He didn't say that. So he's saying that he didn't know what gender fluidity meant, and so he is not that. He is all man, baby.
Oh, man.
So I just thought we'd clarify
And when
that.
I drink a Colt 45, it works every time. That's how it was. So
With a hint of Viagra nowadays.
So we're gonna get back into that, and also
William.
what I would like to share is a coffee mug with you guys that I'm going to be sporting, and Dimitri's sporting right now. If you could kind of show them, and it says "Non-whites only." It's a coffee cup
From South Africa.
From South Africa at the South African Museum.
So basically, he said if you ain't black, you can't drink out of this cup.
Can't drink out of the cup. So, but let's get into it real quick. And again, thank you guys again for taking the time. I know you guys are in traffic out there, probably stuck. So you said, "Hell with it. Let me go."
Oh, let me show YouTube. I forgot to show YouTube.
You know, let me go ahead and just turn this thing on and hear this foolishness and the shenanigans. And for those of you guys that are in college, finals are coming up. We got a week or two left. We got review next week, and then the finals the week after that, and then we will be free to go out and get
all about the country.
And get involved in Holiday Madness as we've been doing.
Okay.
Okay, so what I want to talk about, as you guys have never heard, is the Kamala chameleon. And I say Kamala chameleon because isn't it amazing how she warped into these various things to try to get people to come into her campaign, and it just didn't work. Now, when she announced in Oakland, her hometown supposedly, she was raised in Canada, but her hometown is, I guess, Oakland. 20,000 people showed up, and we did a show on that, and we helped get the word out there that this lady is running. Unfortunately, she has said that because of money, she is not a billionaire. She cannot fund her campaign. Well, go back to your side chick ways. You can get that at a billionaire to give you a little something. I mean, it worked for Willie Brown. It worked for Willie Brown. He gave her a BMW when she was putting it on him. Okay, so I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't know how much a BMW is worth at its highest, but I don't think it's going to fund the campaign.
Yeah, right. But she can get her a billionaire. She's got connections. You're a senator. It's all about connections.
She's probably about 20 years older than she was back then,
yes,
too.
That's true. That's true. So you guys remember, Congress is all about influence in connections. They don't care. You could be the lowest congressman, but you have influence to the lobby. That's what the lobby thing is about. So 20,000 people, she announced she was going to be the next big thing, female, color. She's Obama-esque, which was another reason she should not have run, talking about she's going to bring back the Obama coalition, because for 8 years, the Obama coalition was being obstructed.
Right.
So that was dumb. I mean, she made mistake after mistake after mistake. So she's run this campaign, and after she announced in Oakland, she flies all the way to her alma mater, which is Howard University, and she's a AKA, I believe.
Sorority.
Yeah, she's a sorority. I believe she's an AKA. And from what I get from being an AKA from her shenanigans is, being side chicks. That's what I would get. But I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that's the impression I get.
Okay.
Because Kamala's political history started as a side chick for Willie Brown. He was still a married man at the time, but that's neither here nor there. She's out of the race, whatever. So here we are. She goes over there. She announces over there, and your boy Ricky Smiley. Oh, we heard Kamala's announcing. Y'all, come on now. We gotta get our sororo in there. Blah blah blah. Ricky, okay, that's great. She announced. A lot of people announced. I've ran for president 4 times. I don't see people getting that excited about me.
Okay.
But, it is what it is. It's one thing to tell people to run for her, but run for her for what? What is her platform? What is she...
Hey, Didi.
Yeah, what is she going to do? He never explained that. And whoever was advising her, if you're going to run for president in the modern age, you definitely do not run getting Hillary advisors and Hillary fundraisers. It does not take a genius for me to tie you to Hillary Clinton, who just lost the last election. Another misstep by Miss Harris. Then she attacks Joe Biden in a debate. Of course, that was her landmark, pivotal, highest point.
Oh, I was that girl.
I was that girl.
The busing issue.
Right, but here's the bad thing about what she did. You don't practice that and then have T-shirts right after the debate to give out to people as it was already pre-planned, because you don't feel
genuine.
You don't feel like, you're an authentic type person.
Right.
Then she goes on the Breakfast Club. And okay, wait, before that, remember that video? She's dancing a
She's doing a big hand bounce.
Yeah, a 54-year-old woman dancing to Cardi B. 54-year-old woman dancing to Cardi B. But it worked for Clinton. Didn't he play the
saxophone
right?
on Arsenio Hall? Yes.
Right. And didn't Obama pop? No, he didn't pop, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, why do they come over there and insult us? We're not in those times anymore. People, the internet, people are just more into, what they're doing.
Right.
So I'm going to sum this up real quick. So another misstep. Then she goes on the Breakfast Club and she says she used to listen to, A Tribe Called Quest and these albums that never existed. Tupac.
You know what I'm saying, Fife?
Yeah. She had already graduated by then.
Or she's talking about Snoop. She
Yeah.
smoked weed to Snoop.
Yeah, Snoop and all this other stuff that never existed. Another misstep. Then you go on the show and you laugh and about the marijuana you smoke, and then when you get in the public office, you lock up people for doing the very same thing that you were doing. Another misstep. So this woman had a plethora of missteps, and then you look at her platform. She was all over the place. She didn't stand for anything. She sang one thing for Medicare for all, then she retracts it. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. So a lot of black women just when it not all. I'm saying there's a good thing, but I'm talking about like the boomers,
Right.
Black women were like, oh my God, she was the one, whatever. This woman never identified as a black woman until she ran for office. If you look at any of her things, she was always the Indian woman, the first Indian woman.
American Indian.
Who's that lady that's on the show? She's an Indian lady. She was on she's the Indian lady. She had a show, Mindy something.
I don't know who you're talking about.
2 weeks ago, they were on a cooking show, and Mindy was saying, oh yeah, Kamala, me and you have a lot in common. Now remember, in the Indian society, they have a caste system. Kamala's mother comes from the highest order of the caste. It ain't like she's from the hood. Kamala's mother was a professor.
Mindy Colleen.
Yeah, Colleen or something like that.
She's very dark.
Yeah, very dark.
Yeah.
But they have a caste system. The Indians don't really go by color. They go by the system that they're born into. So their parents are from the highest caste.
Got it.
So, here you are cooking and stuff, and you're doing it. It's sad to see Kamala go, but I'm not surprised, and we called it here.
Come on now, you really sad to see her?
No, I am, because, we need something different. We need a progressive. How can you sit there and say you were a progressive DA, and you locked up over 1,200 people? You know what I mean? What did you do progressive? You keep saying, well, my progressive stance is the thing for the nation. Okay, where's the progressive stance? I looked. You didn't do anything but enforce Joe Biden's crime bill to the maximum of locking black asses up. Period. So, I'm confused. And so a lot of my friends are like, oh, you just hated her because she was a woman, whatever it is. How can anybody say that? You guys aren't ready for a woman president, blah, 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 blah. Wait a minute. Hillary Clinton was nominated. Why did she lose? Was it black people's fault? No, it wasn't. It was white people's fault. White women changed their vote. No matter how many times Donald sexually assaulted women and, white women and all that other stuff like that, it didn't matter to them.
Right.
Hillary was a bad candidate. Kamala Harris was a bad candidate. So, let me hear your opinions about that, and let's see what we got to go. What do you got to say?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, especially with... See, this is the thing. This is my take, and I talked about this the other night. And Dee Dee says, what's wrong with that? Donovan dancing to Cardi B.
At 54 years old? Come on. Where's the smooth? Yeah. Okay, look. I'm 49 years old. I don't want no 54 mature woman. That's not cool.
What you want her to dance to? Let's straighten it out.
Yeah, let's straighten it out. Let's get it on. R&B.
She's in the next room.
Right.
He want his woman dancing to like the brown liquor drink songs.
Yes.
Okay?
Songs that talk about love, not talk about I'ma suck your dick and you can put it in my ass, blah 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 blah, because I want that cat. I don't want that. But that's okay. You know what I'm talking about. So.
All right. Well, I would say like this.
You're like, oh my God.
You know how I feel about it. I think this is my opinion. I'm not very political, although I do know a little bit about politics. I believe Kamala's mistake was she underestimated black people. See, that's the other thing too. People aren't giving the black community, black voters, the credit we deserve in dismantling Kamala's campaign, because when she first came out, there's a lot of black people who were ebullient about her becoming, announcing her candidacy. I've even saw people on my page, oh, I donated. And I'm like, why? Mm-hmm. Why did you do that? And then when she started telling me, like, oh, I didn't know. So Kamala came out, as I said the other day, resting on pretty, thinking, okay, the black people going to have my vote. Because even before Kamala was a senator, when she was running for senator, people was likening her to Obama. Mm-hmm. She's the next coming of Obama. And so in a black community, if you even invoke Obama's name, it's, oh gosh, yes. Which is why Joe Biden is doing so well. And so Kamala didn't really have a platform. She just came out on the strength of her being a black woman who was likened to Obama.
And she had a lot of sound bites in the Senate hearings.
She had a lot of sound bites. She was tough with Trump and all that other stuff. You go, girl type of thing. But then once the new black media, or the new black ass media, as I should say, that's what Roland Martin called us. Mm-hmm. New black ass media didn't know nothing. Started to put her record out there, and as you alluded to, her record on crime. She was part of the tough on crime wave. She came into politics in 1990, right? Well, actually, she came in 4 years before Bill Clinton signed the bill, but it was after Biden had the two other crime bills of 80. It was 86 and 88.
Yeah, right.
So she wrote this whole crime wave, got to be tough on crime, and did a lot of things that was adverse to black community, and black people are still suffering effects. So once the black media got the word out about her and the things she was doing, it started to wake a lot of people up, and she lost a lot of sizzle and air out of her balloon.
Right, and the main reason why she lost sizzle is she did an interview, and she said, "You don't expect me to do something specifically for black people? No! What are you going to do for Mexicans? Oh, I'm going to do DACA. I'm going to do the people on the border. I'm going to do all that." Now, here's what I'm going to say, and it's her right to say whatever she wants to say. But how do you expect to keep the black vote if you tell them, I'm not going to do anything for you? Say that after you get in office. That's what Obama did the second time.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't get to it, but I'll vote for me this time. I'm telling you.
Well,
and he got in there and didn't do shit for us.
And her mistake was thinking that we were asleep at the wheel. That we were just going to like we normally do. Let's keep it real. I'm one of those people, I never lie to you guys, that I voted for Obama.
I did too.
Mostly understood him being black, right? Okay, so she thought we were...
The aesthetics.
She thought we were going to do the same thing. She's a black woman, we're going to vote for her. But as I said, once everything started to come out...
Well, think about this. The Democratic Party. Overwhelmingly, we give them our vote for nothing.
Right.
So if I was her, I would have thought the same thing. Mm-hmm. But I definitely wouldn't have said, I ain't doing shit for you. Not until after I got in.
At least, I'll say this about Kamala, and I'm going to get to you guys' comments, at least she was honest.
Right.
At least she was honest.
I'll give her that.
And that was her downfall, her being honest, and I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people while touting things like DACA, and, all the other things, in addition to being tough on black people, as, being a prosecutor, DA, and all of that. Mm-hmm. So that was, to me, that was the main thing, because we know that Democrats cannot win dog catcher of the year without the black vote. So she went from a top-tier candidate. At one point in time, Kamala was in the lead, to being polling at 2%. I think even at one point in time, Andrew Yang was polling higher than him, which you never even hear about him. Mm-hmm. That's a whole other topic. But so what I understood and what I read the other day is that donors started to call her. Yes. They started to call her and say, hey, you know what? It's not going to be you, boo. Yeah. So we want to put our power and money and all that behind another candidate. They didn't say who. This is what the article was saying. I heard that, and potentially, Biden. So we're not going to be able to fund your campaign anymore. Also, if she needed to make $5 million in 2 weeks, it was impossible for her to do at that point.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny when she launched in Oakland. Right after that launch, guess how much money she?
About $25 million.
About $25 million.
About $25 million.
She's gone through $25 million. And then the sad thing, I really feel bad for her staff, because when you do a political campaign, me and Dee have done a couple local campaigns, and that could go 8 to 9 months of your time. So these people had to move their lives, move to Iowa and certain strategic places.
Put their lives on hold.
On hold.
Right. Well, you know, because they were going to potentially be going another year if she was to get the nomination. Right.
Right. So they're out there doing their thing. So they depend on this lady for their livelihood.
Right.
And the funny thing is, I hate to say this, but she hired Hillary's white staff.
She had a lot of Hillary Clinton's people. Yeah.
Knifed her when the door got shut.
Well, and that was another thing that was problematic for anybody who was paying attention. She hired a lot of Hillary staff. I mean, Hillary had problems with her own self, so why would you bring somebody else's campaign problems into your campaign? Yep. So yeah, Kamala had a lot of issues going on, but let's see what you guys say. So hello to everyone, and then Didi says, maybe she like it like that. Talking about Cardi B. And Cindy says, what's up, fam? What's happening? And Didi says, Donovan, stop it. You lost me with the dick comment. And Al says, Donovan, in your opinion, what is considered ghetto food at the first of the month?
Top ramen. You're trying to make it. Top ramen and, see, back in our day was the government cheese. We could get that block. We could go get the block. But nowadays, you go to the store, the first of the month with the food stamps, which is, by the way, going to be affecting some people. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. You see these people with carts full of top ramen. And do you know that black kids especially suffer from high blood pressure because we're feeding these kids high sodium type diets?
Right. So and to piggyback off of that, it's not just us. So anyway, Cindy says, doing too much. Yeah, that was Donovan, his rap. And Al says, give Fuzzy Bear back his jacket. Fuzzy Bear said he wants me to be warm, okay?
That's right.
So he says I could wear it. And he also say, Al, Dimitri, he said that, I read that. Give his jacket back, please. And Cindy says, what killed her was I smoked weed and laughed. Yes, that was another thing. And let's give Tulsi Gabbard some credit.
Another her fellow Indian woman.
She helped put the other nail in her coffin when she said, hey, you know, you're laughing at, you jailed a lot of black men, especially for smoking marijuana, but then you get on the Breakfast Club and laugh about smoking weed. So it's like, how dare you, you know, think it's funny when you do it, but then there's people who have lost their livelihood behind, you know, policies and things that you were behind. So I honestly think that was the last nail in the coffin that she couldn't recover from. Because you guys noticed, from that point, she kept making up all these policies and initiatives, you know, just like throwing something at the wall just to see what would stick.
And, you know, the sad thing is that laugh was also, that cackle she had, she was talking about locking up these mothers for truancy, and she was laughing about that.
Well, she wasn't just talking about it, she was doing it. And her campaign lied. See, and that's the other thing, too. Kamala's campaign, or Kamala, whoever, I say Kamala because it's her campaign, they lied about a lot of stuff. She lied and said, well, nobody actually got locked up. And so this, I can't remember which newspaper it was. I think it was LA Times or something. A couple newspapers.
They brought out the woman who
her name was Cherie Penny, I think it was, where she highlighted what they did to her. And she says, if anybody's child should have been, you know, absent, it should have been mine because she was sick with sickle cell anemia. So that wasn't like I'm just sitting up and not doing anything,
not caring.
So they brought out evidence to say, well, Kamala, you're lying.
And then Kamala's response. See, and this is why you're not a good leader. A good leader takes the good with the bad. Okay, that's a good leader. That's willing to take the bad as well as the good.
Right.
You just can't, you know, unlike Trump, it's just when the economy's good, it's me. When it's not him. Every time they challenged her on her record, whatever it might have been, she was always, well, I didn't know about that. That was my staff.
It was my staff.
That was this. I had no idea this was going on. The Mitrice Richardson thing. All you feminists out there that are into the woman power and all this other stuff. The Mitrice Richardson case was the case where there was misconduct in the LA County Sheriff's Department. That girl went missing. They found her 11 months later. She was killed. It's still under suspicious auspices. The father and the mother petitioned the then Attorney General, Kamala Harris, to look into it. Refused to do so.
And this was a black woman, if he didn't already say that. Another thing, too, that she blamed on her office was, I guess they fumbled an investigation, or they didn't want to investigate the police shooting, and she blamed it on her people. Then a guy who was doing life.
Because of paperwork. He was a couple of days.
Because of paperwork that he didn't submit on time. She blamed that on her office as well.
Yeah.
And she didn't have anything to do with it.
So if you're the Attorney General and you're the person that's supposed to be in charge and leading, this is a good example of how not to lead. How can you expect to be the President of the United States? We're not talking about Trump right now. The President of the United States, and you don't even know what's going on.
Right, you blaming other people.
Office.
Right. Yeah, that'll never work.
The one thing about Trump is he knows what's going on because he's orchestrating it.
I mean, I guess she wanted to be the laissez-faire president.
Yeah.
You know, hey,
yeah, they're doing whatever they're doing over there, and I'm not worried about that.
I guess, you know.
So.
And Dee Dee says, no first of the month food for Donovan is Winco fried chicken. You ain't lying.
Yeah, so who's bringing it to me?
And Al says, people here in Houston thought Kamala was an old school wrestler.
Yes. Yeah, that big brother Kamala.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's a damn shame. But you know what? I'm just gonna go on and say you're joking. You know what I mean?
No, he's
but
not.
you know, it's sad because you're probably right in that, you know, we're not very well versed in politics the way we should be.
But we give the vote and expect a different result.
That will never do.
You know?
Okay? That will never do. And so yeah, that's kind of why the gig is up for Kamala. Kamala just
Imploded.
you had $25 million initially, right out the gate. She raised a lot of money, and you wasted it, and you didn't have a platform?
Wait, and here's the sad thing. We're talking about money and fundraising. Now, she had secret donors that were Hillary donors. They had anointed her the chosen one. That was their pick. They said, this is going to be it. It's a woman this time. We got her. This is who we got. $25 million after announcing. Bernie Sanders and a lot of the other Andrew Yangs are getting individual donations of $18 on average.
Right.
From individual people.
Yeah.
And Bernie Sanders has, what, over $1 million? Something in just stand by.
Yeah. Yeah, she, that right there should, if you're a political, what do you call them?
Guru.
Political science student.
Major.
Major, her campaign and what to do and what not to do should really be taught in class. She just was like, how do you have all that money? Sound like you hired people, I guess. Maybe they didn't know what they were doing, but...
Well, they also said the people she hired were California state
I
people
know,
now.
but damn.
California state, as everybody knows, is totally different than the nation. We're giving driver's license to people that aren't even citizens here. So California's politics is totally dominated by the Democratic Party. So the people that she hired for a national campaign, they're not in touch with what's going on.
Well, I would say this. I'm in public relations, and a lot of you guys already know that. One of the things she should have did was
hire you.
Yes. She should have been proactive and not reactive. Proactive would have been her and her team getting together and saying, okay, what do I always ask people when I work with them?
Is there anything I need to know that might come out a little bit later? And I did tell you about that goat incident.
Is there anything that I need to know? Now, this is me speaking from a public relations professional point of view. Is there anything I need to know about you that's going to come out and we're going to have to walk back and fix, right? So the other part of that is, okay, Kamala, you have had these high-profile positions. You are the first black this, the first black or Indian, whatever she was claiming.
You were with Willie Brown.
All
we
of
don't
that.
know what the situation was.
You were all of that. Let's
clean.
get in the war room and figure out how we're going to talk in order to fix those things.
Yes.
And so if I was her and her people, I would have said, we got to address that stuff right out the gate. Don't wait for somebody to bring it up, and then now you're trying to flounder and you're spending too much time trying to fix it.
Right, trying to think about
it.
Because what you're describing there, if you guys watched the debate where Tulsi just knifed her, Kamala couldn't come back.
It was,
she just put her head down, and if she had a good staff, she would have been ready.
And Joe Biden fell for the same mistake when they were all dogpiling him about his busing thing and the crime bills.
He just sat there, right?
He didn't know what to say, but that's complacency in that no matter what, I'm the front runner. People like me. I'm going to get the vote regardless. So I can say I killed 2 people. I could go out to Times Square and murder.
Exactly.
And shoot somebody and get away with the type of mentality.
I paid a porn star, and I know Jeffrey Epstein, and...
So Kamala should have addressed that stuff off the bat. And that way it wouldn't have come out, because that's one thing. And when I was doing my dissertation, I wrote about Anthony Weiner. You guys remember Anthony Weiner? He was
Yes.
the congressman
Congressman
in New York.
from New York.
New York.
Sexting.
He was this big time firecracker. A lot of people really like Anthony Weiner. And no pun intended, he ended up tweeting a picture of his wiener out to all of his constituents when he only meant to text it to his side piece.
And Anthony Weiner was married to a Clinton advisor, very high advisor.
Yes, Ahmadine is
Ahmadine,
yeah.
Very
so
beautiful.
he was married. So he's a married guy. He ends up accidentally tweeting his wiener, a picture of his wiener, out to all of his constituents. This is why a lot of people shouldn't use Twitter if you don't know what the hell you're doing on the internet.
Yes.
So anyway,
leave that to your staff.
He lied about it, okay? Anthony Weiner, and I'm gonna get to you guys' comments. Anthony Weiner lied about him doing it. He said he was hacked. Oh my God, somebody hacked into my account and they did this. So people was kind of like, okay, maybe it's true. But some investigative reporters started to dig and they find out that it was actually him, the girlfriend and side piece services, and the rest is history, right? So he's sorry, he's not going to do it again. He starts to win people over because now he's starting to run for governor.
You got to remember, though, he ran for mayor, New York.
Mayor, whoever it was.
You got to remember, one thing about America, we love comeback stories. Why do you think Rocky is such a great movie?
However.
You know? So people will give you a chance.
He was on the comeback, but he does it again. But this time, he does it with a 15-year-old. Which is why he went to prison, okay? He was sexting and texting a 15-year-old.
Did he go to prison?
Yes, he did.
Or did he go to county?
He went to somebody's jail. I believe he went to prison. He did some
He didn't go to Rikers, even though he's in New York.
He did some time, okay? Now, this man was a high-profile, this, that, and the other. So the point that I'm making is when you lie about stuff, it comes out. People will find out. Because
especially if they don't like you.
Yeah, but we live in a society where people want the dirt. They want the dirt. And so a lot of people, especially on the right, didn't like Anthony Weiner because he took people to task, and then he's out there doing this crazy stuff. So anyway, the premise that I'm trying to make is just tell the truth. Tell the truth, especially if you're a public figure, because people are going to eventually find out. And just get ahead of the story.
Right. And then here's another thing about Kamala that really disappointed me. It's okay to make a mistake. What she should have done, you cannot win the nomination in the Democratic Party if you don't have the black vote. There's not that many black candidates, so she basically alienated a whole group of voters.
You know what she did? I'm telling you, I wasn't in the room with her and her peoples, but what they said is, don't worry, we got the Negroes.
Right. But
we got them already. She had no plan for black people.
But even if you misstepped in those interviews and those things like that, she could have came back and said, look, here's my position. I'm sorry for what I said over here. That was misconstrued. I didn't really think it out. My bad. But here's the deal. At the time that I was doing the crime bill, that was the popular thing to do as a prosecutor. Everybody was, not that you have to, everybody's doing it, but you come up with some kind of apology. And you say, I was a little younger then, now I'm becoming an old hag. And so I'm more mature. I know what's the right thing to do. These are some of the initiatives that I want to, reparations. I want to work on these things. Notice through this whole process, she still did not go back.
She should have just owned it.
Right.
She should have just owned what she did. And I wouldn't even, I guess an apology is nice, but I'm cool with you admitting.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Admit what you did.
Apology, admit it, say, I was young, this is my stance at the time, but you know what, moving forward, I need you to help me.
Or she could have just ran as a Republican.
Thank you.
So anyway,
Thank you.
And Al says, those cat clock eyes, Demetra, are moving today.
Yeah, the Felix the Cat eyes. Yeah.
And hey, Dunamis, what's happening? He says, what's funny to me is she said she wouldn't do something just for black people, but then gonna say they hating on black woman, knock it off. Right? I mean,
it's crazy. And look, and that's okay.
She did it to herself.
That is the biggest thing that eats me up. Is when, and I had a lot of my black female friends from the East Coast that did not know Kamala's record until I told them. But even after telling them, they were still supporting her, which is their right. I don't have a problem with that. But the minute she drops out, victim. She's a victim now. Oh, they weren't ready for a black woman president. What? Wait. First of all, Kamala never identified as black. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that people weren't ready. She was just a liar. She was a liar, and,
She just wasn't a good candidate.
She just was. I mean, it's just,
That's it.
Why can't people just embrace that she was not a good candidate? I mean, like you said, too, in a couple of years, she might have been ready, to kind of get a lot. like giving herself a little bit more time to actually do some good.
Right.
Right? Do some good.
Champion some bills.
Right. And not that bullshit, excuse me. Anti-lynching bill that she did with Tim Scott and Cory Booker. Now, that's cute.
Right. Now, remember, she also co-authored Bernie Sanders' bill in the House for the progressive health care.
Oh, yeah.
Then she jumped off of it.
Right, yeah.
The millennials are the dominant voting class in America right now, not the boomers. So why would you even, I mean, put it like this. If she would have stayed on that thing with Bernie, that could have got her a significant amount of votes.
Well, and that's the other thing, too. I'm glad you brought that up. They're saying that perhaps there's a VP spot for her.
Under the Biden.
I don't buy it, though.
Yeah,
I don't. The reason why I don't buy that,
they're just trying to get black people to.
Listen, nobody, and I'm going on record to say this. I don't believe anybody's going to put Kamala as the VP because her record is too
horrible.
They saw that as a black woman. This is what she said. She doesn't have the black vote. Any candidate running now needs the black vote. Biden is, kind of struggling, and if it's because
he's gonna fade. Because
to your point, they're saying that they're these donors are putting their money behind Buttigieg. Buttigieg he has 0% of the black vote. So that wouldn't make sense to put Kamala on the VP ticket with him.
Which makes you wonder, the Democratic Party, these are the candidates that you have. To me, the only chance you have is Bernie or Tulsi. As a candidate to be viable against a Donald Trump.
Why Tulsi, though?
Because she went against the DNC when they were rigging it. At least she was on enough to go against it. I'm not saying she's going to win, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying she got some issues, too.
Oh, yeah. But compared to the ones that they're calling the front runners, she's going to pull a significant amount of votes than some of the candidates.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, they don't want Andrew Yang to win. They definitely don't want Bernie to win. And how do we know that? Even Obama has come out and said if he gets Hillary recently.
Hillary has come out. Hillary was in an interview with Howard Stern, and she blamed
Hey, Hillary, you got a thong on?
Bernie Sanders.
Hey, Hillary, do you have a thong on?
Isn't
that Howard Stern's show? You need to do that? You got a thong on?
Stupid.
Can I see it?
She blamed Bernie Sanders for her part of her demise in the campaign, I guess, because he didn't drop out soon enough.
Right.
Should have dropped out sooner than hanging on and causing harm to her.
Well, Hillary needs to ask herself this.
And she said she hopes he doesn't do it to the next person.
Right. Hillary's got to ask herself this. Since you rigged the whole DNC and bankrupt them, why even go through this whole primary thing? Just say, I'm the nominee. You guys, the rest of you guys sit down. Let's save our money. We're moving forward.
Right. Yeah.
She doesn't. Notice she never brings that up.
No, it's not going to
How
happen.
she cheated and
right.
how all the stuff that went down.
And Al says Anthony Weiner really sucked. No pun. I actually like Anthony Weiner. It's just unfortunate to see him plummet that way.
And then his wife was very attractive. What was wrong with him?
Well, I mean, if he's sexting 15-year-olds,
it's a mental thing. But his wife was a very attractive woman.
And she took him back after the first time. Yeah.
I know.
And she was
they're
pregnant.
Divorced now. Yeah, they're divorced.
Yeah, they're divorced now.
Yeah,
I think they are.
Yeah, I think they are.
I know they divorced, but I had to heard somewhere that maybe
they got back together.
I did, but anyway.
But very attractive woman, so I don't know what his problem was.
And
that goes to show you.
Right.
You can be the prettiest thing on the world, but
he had a sickness.
Yeah,
has. And Al says, Donovan, do another Kamala impersonation.
No! All boats, let's make this clear. All boats. All tides lift all boats. It's just crazy. She's just crazy.
And Russell, you sure you want that fight? It says Trump 2020.
If they don't remove him before then.
If he doesn't get, impeached and removed and all.
Well, he's going to get impeached.
I know, but I'm saying and removed.
Yeah.
I think it's a real possibility that Trump is going to be in office another 4 years.
And if he is, what difference is that going to make to you, B?
None. Not going to make me any difference.
Hasn't Trump shook up the political scene to where he's released more black prisoners than Obama did?
And he just provided lifetime funding to HBCUs.
He just opened up under the last year's defense authorization that takes effect this year to where if you're an honorably discharged vet in the VA system between 0 and 100%, you have access to base facilities to use NWR and the commissary and the exchanges.
And I just want to put this out there on the record, okay? Because I get tired of arguing with Negroes.
Yeah, we're not Trump supporters.
Yeah, I get tired of arguing with Negroes. This is like, dude.
But we have to be fair. You have to call it when they do good.
Yeah.
You have to call it when they do bad.
My thing is this, too. Trump is a douchebag. Okay?
Totally.
He is. Okay?
Grab him by the pussy.
But as I said, and I always have said, Trump is not black people's problem, per se. We didn't put him there. It's not our job to get him out. All the hell that black people have been going through in America, okay, since we've been over here, you're not going to tell me that now Trump is our boogeyman, and if we don't get rid of Trump, black people are going to combust.
We got to get Trump out there. Yes, Ms. Nancy.
I mean, to get Trump out and get what? What are you, like, what are we going to get
Look
to
what's
get Trump
going on.
out?
Look what he's doing.
What is he doing?
Look at the crimes and stuff that, that affects us rich people.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Did I flip that out of the bag by mistake? That's what he's doing. Oh, he just cut food stamps. Doesn't that bother you?
I would if I was getting them, maybe. I don't know, and that's
Crazy.
another thing,
Crazy.
So, Negroes want to argue, well, you're just counterproductive. You need to get on the same page. We got to get Trump out of here. Vote blue no matter who.
Wait, we got to get Trump out. You mean the Trump that was invited to Hillary's daughter's wedding with Jeffrey Epstein and his girlfriend, and
Harvey Weinstein was there too?
Yes. All these people that are in the same group. So what's the difference between a Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, who's trying to get into the circle, a Hillary Clinton? They all run in the same pack.
Right.
So what difference is it going to make?
But nobody seems to be able to answer that. They get mad because you do what you're doing. It's going to allow Trump to get back in there. First of all, I didn't allow him to get in there in the first place. Okay. Right. And if I'm gonna help get Trump out of there, I want something for doing that. Okay. Listen. I'm 48 years old, so I wasn't here in the 60s.
Al, you didn't hear that, did you?
I wasn't here in the 60s, or whenever the civil rights came about, or the inception of it, whatever. Wasn't there then.
But you benefited from it, girl!
Well, how?
They integrated the schools, even though you were about to get clubbed.
You know how many times I was called a nigga at school?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying during the integration, you know how many times I was told I had a big butt, big lips, big nose, and all that. You know how many times I endured that?
And now, as a grown woman, you say,
they
yes,
buying this shit.
Yeah. and weren't you the girl that started the BSU?
Yes. At my high school.
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay.
So, I mean, I didn't benefit from none of the stuff that the Democratic Party, or Democrat Party, if you will, ushered in. We haven't benefited to this day. So what's in it for me with them? That's a term, what's in it for me, to help get Trump out of office. And if I help get him out of office, is the person I'm going to put in there,
are they any better?
Are they going to be any better, or are we going to be worse off?
Well, you got to remember, we just got laughed at the big union thing. Doesn't that bother you? As an American?
No, because I was laughing with him.
That our president is being laughed at?
He should be laughed at. He's a laughing stock.
Well, he's a clown, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, give me something concrete, people, and let's see here. Al says, did the woman take Anthony's wiener out of it? You know what?
She did.
Grow up.
She did.
And Russell, you say the Democrats are black people's worst enemy.
Yes.
But you know what's Russell, you can't say that too loud around certain Negroes, because in their head starts to spinning around, their eyes start rolling back in their head, and then they start spewing green vomit at you.
Yes.
Because you're talking down on the Democrat Party, and as I said,
because they've done so much for black people.
I'm nonpartisan. I don't ascribe to any party at all.
Me neither.
So I may or may not vote depending on if it's something for me to vote for, and I'm not ashamed to say that I'm not going to vote if there's nothing for me to. I'm not going to waste gas, time, and energy to watch you see my ass into the voting booth and get nothing when I leave.
Well, then vote by mail.
I'm not going to do that, okay? Y'all not going to waste no postage. It's probably free.
Right.
But I'm not going to waste my time doing that. I'm just not. And like I said, I don't care who gets mad about it. It's fun. This is the thing that just really just chaps my hide.
Uh-oh. That's a lot of hide.
Like, we as black people get mad because we won't get on the same page with some bullshit. But we don't want to get on the same page with something that's actually going to help us.
Yes.
Why do we get mad? Like, if you mad at me because I won't get on the same. I've been on that page and I ain't got nothing from that page.
Right.
I want to flip the page over and see if there's something over there for me. Like, come over here with me.
Right.
You know, let's try a new drink.
Let me ask you this. Recently if you guys that follow me on Facebook, go to Donovan Sadiq, I'm on Facebook. I broke a man's brain just based on political stuff. And I keep getting asked by the Trumpsters, well, where's the crime? There's no doubt he did it. He abused his office. There's no doubt there was a crime. To defy a congressional subpoena is a crime, period. So he's going to get impeached. But I was putting these facts out. And like I said, and it's stupid of me to argue with the Trumpster with facts.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Don't even do that. The guy, instead of having an intelligent conversation at 49 years old and a little bit older than me, loses his mind and just starts cursing me out. And of course, notice he's cursing me out on the internet, because if he was anywhere around here, he'd get his ass whooped.
He get them hands.
Right, he'd get the hands.
Oh yeah, well he being nice. He called them all kind of body parts and
exactly.
A whole bunch of stuff. I was like,
and what kills me is we're supposed to be the adults, and we've got children and grandchildren that are looking at us and how we conduct ourselves, whatever. I've got a lot of Trump friends that voted for Trump. That's their business, and I respect that vote. And a lot of people ask me, they go, you always keep saying the veteran thing, whatever it is. Here's my thing when I say veteran. I don't care how much of a redneck you are. If you are a veteran, you have more so a right to speak what that bullshit that's coming out of your mouth, more so than anybody else, because you put your feet in the fire and went out there. Unlike those of us who inherited rights. You know what I mean? Anybody can say, well, yeah, I got the right to do that. But did you work for it? No.
How many times was you deployed?
Over 16 times.
16 times.
That's in this conflict. If we go back to Ethiopia and Desert Storm, Desert Shield, that's a totally different ballgame there. Add that in there. So,
right.
So that's when I say the difference between a veteran and a veteran.
That's when you draw the line, damn it.
Exactly. And then and I draw a line on this. I'm on my page. I'm not going to your page saying, Obama's the greatest thing. And then here's another thing about Obama. When Obama was president for 8 years, all of my anti-Obama friends just totally disrespected the man. And you know what I did?
And that tan suit was a tragedy.
Yes.
I mean, golly, he shouldn't have wore that.
Yes. And Michelle showing her shoulders. And she's a man and all this other stuff.
She didn't have no stockings on under her dress.
For 8 years, I respected your right to say what you want to say, because I know it's bullshit. So, again, I don't go on people's pages and say, hey, I'm going to post this on your page, and no, I don't do that. I don't even argue with you on your page. I'm on my page. So respect people's opinion. That's all I'm asking you to. Respect the opinion.
That's too much like right.
Yeah, just respect their opinion. That's all.
And let's see here. Al says, Donovan, D is feeling real good because we are not going to Magic Mountain next week. That's right, I told him.
No Magic Mountain, huh?
No more!
Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Universal.
Universal Studios want $100 and some per ticket.
He might want to look at his veterans benefits and see if they have the tickets.
Anyway.
He's going right now on his phone.
Right. And Dunamis, he said, Demetra and Donovan, y'all got my vote. Yeah, right. What we running for?
Well, you're 6 years too late. I could have used that vote.
Right. You could have used that vote. But thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Al ain't reading your joke about no Oscar Mayer baloney. And Russell, he says, if Trump is impeached, it's going to hurt black Americans more than anyone else. You know what? And again, you can't say that too loud because people don't want to hear the truth. It's just the truth. Because right now, at the rate we are going, anybody who gets in the White House on the Democrat side, for the most part, are not going to carry a black agenda.
Right.
But this is the good thing about Kamala dropping out. Good thing about Kamala dropping out is I think that the rest of the Democrat nominees are going to start to wake up. And this Tom Perez dude who sounds like he's...
Oh, he's a dirtbag.
He's the, the DNC chair and all that. I think they'll start to wake up a little bit and say, okay, black people ain't playing no more.
Exactly.
Like, because they know they got no shade. I won't call the older cats what Donovan calls them.
What, Uncle Tom's?
No, not that. Generation Fail.
Oh, Generation Fail,
They know they have the older people in the pocket. They're never going to rock the boat. It's going to be the same old, whatever. But the younger people are starting to wake up and say, hey, you know what? I'd like to get something from my vote. I don't know about you guys, you know.
So what are you going to be talking about in the second hour?
So in the second hour, I'm going to be talking about BattleShip Oprah.
BattleShip Oprah. Let's get into that.
BattleShip Oprah. And so, yeah, just to finish that off while Donovan is starting a new podcast, yeah. I mean, again, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm not going to just support anybody on a Democrat side just because I need to vote blue no matter who. My ass. I'm not going to do that. I would rather sit out and not vote. And like I said, too, black people, we survived this far. Hell, if Trump do get in office another 4 years, it ain't going to kill us.
It ain't going to kill us at all.
To Russell's point, you know, in fact, we might be better off because it's going to force black people to actually do for self now and stop buying the bullshit of the Democrat Party. Okay, yes. We've been buying it for, you know, since the 30s, you know, and then when civil rights came in, you know, we were supposed to be getting all these civil rights we're still waiting for, you know, and it's to the point now that the Democrat Party don't even promise black people nothing.
Don't need to.
Don't even say, hey, I'm going to give you guys, you know, a cookie.
No, the problem, the problem, and I'm going to say it until the day I die, the problem with black people is this. We want everybody else to do the work now.
Right.
Because we've told our kids, okay, how could you go from generation fail, from open to don't trust anybody over 30, and you know, this revolutionary generation to generation fail. And then you tell your kids to disarm themselves. Don't talk to the policeman like that. Don't, you know, just keep it cool. You know, we're living good over here. We're the first in the white neighborhood. So, just, you know, you just...
Right.
If you can't fight for your freedom, you don't deserve to be free.
Right. And so Al says, will you tell your audience what good Trump has done for black people? Well, I want to be honest. I want to tell both sides of the story now, because there's a lot of people say, you know, invoke what Trump did as far as the Central Park Five, which was, you know, very douchebaggery, if you will, calling for the murder of innocent boys, because that's what they were, boys, during the Central Park.
And they got paid, yes.
Yeah, but they endured a lot of hell because of that. And then, you know, the whole discrimination thing with his father with the apartment building. But if you want to move it to present day, Trump has let a lot of black people out of prison who were doing life.
That Kim Kardashian booty goes a long way. She did a lot.
As we read today in the paper, most of us, HBCUs have been funded permanently.
Well, they're going to repeal that when the Democrats get it.
You stupid.
So they're going to repeal executive order. They're going to repeal that.
Regardless of whether we like the jobs or not, unemployment is at a historically low rate, and including that of black
part-time
people.
jobs, right?
It's
historically high.
Right. I mean,
it's good.
The unemployment is low, so and that's quite a few things that he has done. But to Donovan's point, you know, what are the Democrats doing? I mean, they're doing stuff for everybody else but black people, and we refuse overall to wake up and just say, hey, you know.
How do you adopt an agenda for people who aren't even citizens? You're going to give Nancy Pelosi authorized $430 million for the people on the border, plus some money for Trump's wall at the same time, but you can't adopt a black agenda.
Right.
You can't talk about reparations. Whatever happened to Marianne Williamson?
She's milling around somewhere.
Yeah.
But
I know she's still a candidate.
Yeah,
on the books.
She's on the books, but I don't think she's qualified.
Right, for the...
Well, because, you know, that's somebody black people really should be getting behind, because Marianne Williamson actually understands. She broke the numbers down, and she understands the need for reparations.
And so does Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang, they all understand it, but they're too busy trying to promote somebody like Joe Biden. Joe Biden has done the most harm to black people, even more harm than Trump has done. You know, he's done the most harm, but yet black people want to get behind him, and they can't even say why, other than he used to be Obama's wingman. Right. You know, he was cool, and, you know, they would...
Do you guys really want to know why Obama picked Joe Biden?
Because of his military experience?
No.
His national defense experience?
No, that wasn't it at all.
What was it?
The Democratic Party white people were not going to go with Obama. That's why they were behind Clinton 100%. But when they saw the tide was kind of like turning and stuff, when he had to pick a running mate, he went with Biden as an insurance to the white people that, see, look, we'll get this guy. And that let Obama was smarter to say, look, I'm okay, vote. I'm going to, you know, toe the line.
And now,
and that's what he's doing.
And so now Biden is actually using that strategy in
reverse,
saying, hey, and I heard this is what he said. In fact, he did say it. Hey, if I was bad for business as far as black people, Obama wouldn't have chosen me to run as his to be his vice president. So I'm all right, you guys, and that's pretty much what he said.
And that wasn't the case. Obama could not get the funding and the backing from the white establishment unless he had a vice president that was acceptable to keep him in check.
Right.
That let the white people know, even the racist white people, okay, we got to go with this black guy, but you know, we got this guy here who wrote the crime bill and who's hard on crime. And what does Biden always say? Well, some of my best friends were racist. Some of his senators, the friends that he was always, we got to work out and work with them. I could work with these people. Come on now.
Right.
So.
I'm waiting on you.
We're going.
Oh, we're rolling already. Okay, so we're in the second half already. All right. So anyway, I want to talk about, let's see here real quick. Let's get to this. And Brandy, you're laughing. And Samuel says, not voting for black people is like not celebrating Christmas, even though it's an economic exploitation. The sad thing is that it's black people that enforce these brainwashing, brainwashing white policies and beats other blacks up for not participating in their white supremacy system.
Yes.
And that's absolutely true. You'll find that true with religion and everything else, you know, especially Christianity. You're a heathen from hell if you don't, you know, go to church.
Right.
And practice Christianity. So anyway, we're going to transition over to BattleShip Oprah, and I'll continue to read you guys' comments. BattleShip Oprah, why did I name it that? Because Oprah is continuously trying to sink the careers and legacies of black men. So what had happened was recently is there's I guess the Sundance Film Festival is coming up in January, and Oprah's film about the Me Too movement. She's actually one of the executive producers, Harpo Studio, one of the executive producers of this Me Too film. And one of the major topics is Russell Simmons, who you guys know him as the Def Jam CEO mogul. He is considered one of the founding, you know, producers, if you will, of hip hop. So he's just everything.
You guys seen Crush Groove?
All of that.
Based on Russell Simmons and his brother. And all
so he, you know, if you don't know who Russell Simmons is, you probably lived under a rock. So anyway, in 1995, he was accused of raping one of an record executive or somebody who worked for him. Now this is 1995, and so within this film, it's called Me Too something, produced also by Apple TV, if you will.
Okay, gotcha.
They're highlighting the story, and they talk about what he did to this lady, allegedly, because Russell Simmons has vehemently denied doing this, and in all fairness, Russell Simmons has not been tried or found guilty of any of this. And so here you have Oprah, who also produced, did she produce the documentary? Or she had the Neverland, leaving Neverland.
Yeah,
she didn't produce it, but
no, she did produce it.
Did she?
She
okay, well, and she also held what do you call it? An interview, this big time interview with the victims, the alleged victims, if you will, James Safechuck and Wade Robeson, and saying, well, it's time for us to let Michael Jackson go. You know, he's guilty and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah.
After all the interviews Michael gave her.
Michael Jackson, you know, she's been to his house and just, you know, a whole host of things. Just dogged him out. So this interview, or this movie actually, what was it on? I think HBO. HBO had this premiere, and I guess it was a couple of nights that it showed, and it was found to be flawed with a bunch of lies, and it was just terribly put together. The timelines were off. It was horrible, 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 horrible. She goes on record defending these guys and just never really addressed the holes that were poked in the story. So here, Auntie Oprah, if you will, is back at it again, trying to take down that of Russell Simmons. And so I called her BattleShip Oprah because she is seeming to target black men, trying to take them down, innocent black men, because let's also put on record that Michael Jackson was found innocent. The FBI, they said they followed him and bugged him in his house and everything for years, and never once did they hear or find any wrongdoing on this man's behalf. Again, Russell Simmons is innocent. No charges or any of that stuff has been brought against him. And so it also should be highlighted that Oprah she was, because now she's distanced herself, so she says, was very, 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 very good friends with Harvey Weinstein, who, as you guys know, as today, he was in court, I guess, trying to figure out his bail situation because I guess in New York they're going to have this no bail system where you don't have to put up all this money.
Right.
Cashless bail system is what it is. So he was in court hearing
that
about
Kamala
that.
was against.
Right, he was in court to hear about that. And so Harvey Weinstein has been accused by a whole lot of women in Hollywood of rape and just the most heinous
sodomy,
things. You name it. So far, a lot of the cases have been dropped. Harvey has not
I wonder why. Maybe there was a payoff there.
And who knows? You know, because a lot of those women were paid off before, and then they come out now, you know, saying that he did these things. So I don't doubt Harvey Weinstein did some of those things, but just to say the least, Harvey Weinstein has not seen the inside of a jail while we have Bill Cosby sitting in jail for upwards of 10 years. Okay?
Bullshit.
He's in jail for 10 years, but Harvey being Oprah's very good friend, her, Gail, and a whole host of them, they're even taking Ava DuVernay to task because I guess she also said a couple of years back that I love him and, you know, he's my inspiration, this, that, and the other. In addition to kind of co-signing some of the stuff that Oprah did, and they're like, because I saw the Twitter where they was taking her to task, there's actually Michael's nephew saying, hey, you just put out this awesome documentary about the Central Park Five. When they see us, you did all this investigation and stuff, and talked about how 5 black men were done dirty, but yet my uncle Michael Jackson was done dirty, but yet you don't see the need to be honest about that?
No, of course no. No. What?
So she got mad and
specifically something from Michael Jackson?
That people were harassing her. This is Ava DuVernay. People were harassing her. She's going to block them. And so everybody got on there and was like, yo, ain't nobody harassing you. We're asking you a question. How is it that you're defending these 5 men, which you should be defending the Central Park 5, but yet you let your girl, Oprah, run roughshod all over the legacy of Michael Jackson and you don't say anything. So that's why I call Oprah BattleShip Oprah, because it seems like she is dead set against pushing the talking points of white supremacy and ruining the legacy of, I'm not talking, like nobody's legacy should be ruined, but we're talking about major greats in the black community. I don't care what nobody said. I will ride for Michael Jackson to the end. Not just because I'm a fan, but because
El DeBarge.
You better say it again for the ones in the back.
El DeBarge.
That's right. I like it. Right. So anyway. So, you know, she's content on doing this. And so I actually got into a little bit of a heated conversation with a girl on my page yesterday about it. Oh, you guys are, you know, we're being distracted. I'm like, we can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. But I don't think that we should give Oprah Winfrey a pass for continually trying to ruin the legacy of black men. But she doesn't say anything about her homies that are doing the same stuff. So I want to know what Oprah's real agenda is. And you know what? My daughter actually says something interesting that I think was interesting. She says, I think Oprah wants to be the last mogul standing. You know?
Yeah, black mogul.
She wants to be the last black mogul standing. I said, I could kind of maybe see that. But
yeah, there's other ways to go about it.
I tend to think it's just deeper than that. I think Oprah is, Oprah can tell people to go jump off their roofs and your life will be better and they will do the shit. Most people will. So, you know, Oprah is, Oprah's a cult, and so I think she is purposely being used to do these things. There's an agenda to take, Bill Cosby's gone. The hell, they done killed up Michael Jackson twice, you know, physically and his legacy. They tried to, they removed his stuff from a lot of, you know, things. Yeah, all of that. And so Russell Simmons, who, as we said, is everything to hip-hop. He is, you know, hip-hop will not be where it is today without Russell Simmons, whether you agree or not.
Some of the foundational classic albums of hip-hop came out of Def Jam. The Beastie Boys, a white group. LL Cool J, who's still going strong today. Run DMC, you know, you got all these. In
addition to Russell being very woke, he speaks out on the plight of black people. You know, so he's not one of these, you know, cats that's out there kind of like, well.
Oh, wait, he's not Jay-Z talking about, I'm going to try to profit.
Right. As far as I know, Russell Simmons is not towing the line. He's very pro-black, and so that could be it too. You rarely ever hear Oprah Winfrey say anything about the plight of black people. Now, does she do things for black people?
Probably
yes, she
silence.
does. Yeah. But I'm saying what she's doing to denigrate the legacy of black men is more noticeable than what she's actually doing for black people.
Wait a minute. Have you noticed the basic playbook in the black community is to do what?
Come on, that's a loaded question. You ain't finna set me up for failure.
Well, yeah, is to do what? If you can split the black man and the black woman apart like they did in the 70s, and they said, hey, you can get your own crib if you leave this black man out here. They're doing that in the voting, and they're doing that in what you're talking about. What Oprah, that's one of the oldest tricks that they use.
Yeah, just using it, by using, and I agree with that, Donna. But I think that's very interesting. I'm gonna get to you guys' comments. That they're gonna use this very powerful black woman to take down black men. Mm-hmm. Who else? You know, because if they use somebody else to do it, then everybody's like, it's obvious.
Remember last week, the epitome of black masculinity was Billy D. Williams. And yes, it sounds like to me you have a vocation that you need to be with a woman and hold her tight. And let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing unless you have someone you love to share it with. Woo! Whatever. But you know what I mean? But are you seeing a pattern?
I am.
Okay.
But again, Billy was like, "What I say now?"
Yeah.
I said I was what?
Yeah, he didn't take.
I don't care what nobody say. I think somebody slid Billy D. Williams those talking points, and when he really realized what it was, he said he was like, "Oh, hell no."
So we want to We want to thank Demetra K for waking Billy up and making sure he realized. Yes, because I mean, look, she came in here. Oh, Billy D, we gotta go on here right now.
Lies. So anyway, Samuel, you say when they see us was put out and attack against couch behind the disguise support for the Central Park fire. So you're saying it actually was a disguise. Because I think I'm trying to read your comment right in that we'll give them this feel good type of thing while Oprah's working the scene, slithering around like a centipede,
making money. On both ends.
And getting ready to...
Exactly. That's the oldest...
Because, they also had Oprah up there on the stage with Ava when they was talking to the Central Park 5 and she was conducting the interview. I just really couldn't get into that. I mean, I got into the rest, but I just couldn't get past the fact that they had Oprah sitting up there, and Oprah was very instrumental in, dogging out, or trying to, dogging out Michael Jackson. I just...
Okay, Oprah, the first interview I remember, Michael put you on a bench. But you were a lot bigger then. He didn't have a chair big enough for that ass. So he put you on the piano bench. Are you still mad because of that? Is it worth destroying the man's legacy? I'm just saying. But did you notice that first interview? She was on a bench.
There's something wrong with you.
I was just saying, she was on a bench. Mike put her on a bench.
It's something really wrong with him, okay? Because Anyway. So BattleShip Oprah is at it again. And I said this too on my page when I posted the article, that Oprah should be shunned. Like, people in the black community should just...
We need to move on.
Yeah, but Oprah is not for us.
But you gotta think about it. Oprah comes from what generation?
I'm not gonna say it.
Generation fail. And it's like, they get to their position and they feel that, it's like they don't even think about their children or their grandchildren. It's all about what I'm gonna do. And they don't think about that. And it's like, you look back on it, you're saying, is this person in their right mind? Or for everything that you work for, what you're telling me is sell everything out? Your principles out?
I just think...
Step on everybody you can?
I mean, I don't know. And I don't want to be disrespectful. But I don't know.
Tell me, I'll do it.
Right. I'm sure you'll piggyback. I don't know if Oprah has ever been for black people or not. I don't know. But I know now she is not for black people. She is doing the will of white supremacy. And it's just, I'm sorry. I think we should cut, like she told us to cut Michael off, we need to cut her ass off.
But isn't it funny how we're finding out because of the new black media, and we don't talk about the new black media, give them enough credit. We're finding out so much about these so-called leaders and cult leaders and everything like that, and they, their draws is just as dirty as everybody else's. You know what I mean? Have you noticed that, though? I mean,
I ain't noticed nobody else's dirty draws.
Well, that's because you be freeballing.
I ain't got no balls.
Well,
I know you're a man, Don.
Yes. So
anyway, Al says, give it enough time. Oprah would do a documentary to take down Billy D even further.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
She was probably her to give him the talking points, Billy.
Yes.
Go out there and say you're gender fluid. That's going to get you so many more fans, a new crowd of fans will come to you, Billy. Just say you're gender fluid.
You know, Oprah, these women that are my age, you know, they've got the big guts and they let themselves go. And, you know, it ain't the same as in the 70s when I was just getting panties from some of the finest hoes out there. So, Billy, this is what you need to do. See, and he went with it. You know what I mean?
What's in your coffee cup? Not what's in your wallet. What's in your cup? Okay? And then Samuel says, attack against Trump, my bad. So that's what she's saying.
Yeah.
That they used when they see his documentary as attack against Trump. I can see that as well because it did highlight Trump a lot. It familiarized people with what Trump actually did.
But, you know, to me, they didn't emphasize enough of Trump's complicity in the negativity.
They actually did a pretty good job of highlighting what, I mean, they actually played real footage and all of that, you know, of what he did, calling for the death of these boys who were innocent, you know. And even to this day, Trump has not said, hey, you know what, I made a mistake.
Nope.
You know, he's
he begrudgingly had to admit Obama was born in the country. Like, yeah!
Yeah, remember all this shit he started? Tell everybody he wasn't born here. And, you know, I'd give it to Trump.
He's a good liar.
Not only that, but he's a genius at
bullshit, lying.
Well, branding himself. Because, I mean, before he did all that birther stuff, people just knew him as the apprentice and all that, you know, and Trump power
and failed businessman, and all that bullshit.
But then when he came, I think what he did was strategic and let me get my name out there because he said it on Oprah. I could run as a Republican and win, and he's been a lifelong Democrat up until recently.
No. He was at the right place at the right time because if the Democrats had put the right candidate that actually won that election, the nomination, Trump would have been beat.
Right. And then Brandy says, ever since she got slapped, she ain't been right. Laughing my laugh. Who got slapped? Oprah, did she get slapped?
But
do tell.
Yeah, do tell.
And Al says, Donovan, did you see the movie with Billy D and Sylvester Stallone?
Yes, Nighthawks. Yeah, I got it on the DVD right now. I recorded it the other day on my DVR. Classic movie, man. Classic movie. Rutger Hauer was in it too. Beautiful, beautiful. You know, Al, we need to do a movie review show.
Right. Called Dumber and Dumber. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that's who Auntie Oprah is to me. Oh, Color Purple. Yes. Yes.
What about Color Purple?
Sophia.
Oh, Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia.
You had Harpo beat me. Looks like a black eye to me. No, that was a horseback.
Yeah, she talking about when a white dude slapped her when she was getting all flipping with the white woman.
Hell
and then
no.
She slid across the car, and then she balled up her fist and was like, pow! And then she was working for the white lady.
Right for the white man with that fucked up eye. It's sad. No, and you know, and
oh wait, because the police officer hit her in the eye at the end of the gun.
You know, and what's so sad about that depiction is that was most like it's based on a true thing. I'm sure a lot of black
somebody
women
got
went
slapped
through that.
up. Yeah, they got forced into indentured servitude.
You know, it's just sad. It's just sad.
So anyway, you guys, check this out. I want to transition to something that's probably a little bit on the more sillier side, if you will, but it was a lot of truth to it. And so anyway, there's this white rapper by the name of Bad Baby. Her name is, it's not important, honestly. Anyway, she's the Catch Me Outside girl that was on Donahue. Damn,
no, she was on
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
I said
Dr. Phil.
Donahue. I'm old as a mother. Okay? Dr. Phil, and she was getting stupid with her mom in the audience and all that other stuff.
Meet me outside!
Yeah, catch me outside, whatever. Okay, so she got popular doing that. The girl is 16, so she's fairly young. So she, on her Instagram, was wearing some box braids. So for those of you who don't know what box braids are, they're braids that black women and girls wear, the big braids. I've worn them a few times on the show. And so black women took her to task and saying, and she is, don't get me wrong, she is a huge culture vulture, a big time appropriator. She is, okay? Listen, I'm not saying that she's not. She is 100% a culture vulture, all right? But so, she had this, as some people will say, this clap back, and I want to find it for you, okay? Because they were saying, how dare you, you're wearing these braids. Those are our braids, blah, blah, blah. And so, I'm going to show you here. That's her.
Oh, she's kind of cute.
She's a white girl, but, So that's the girl. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Kind of looks like my niece.
She's a white girl. She got the Bronx braids on, if you will. And so after black women were taking her to task, she says this. I'm going to try to read it because she's a little hood. Okay?
You bitches!
She says, to all the black females that are saying my hair ain't meant for box braids, guess the F what? Y'all hair ain't meant to be straight, but y'all glue a whole glow.
Hello!
Calm your ass
Oh,
down.
sorry.
I ain't done. Okay.
Man, I'm going to get excited on that.
But y'all glue whole wigs on to your heads, and so Brazilian, Indian, Peruvian hair, which is anything, wasn't anything, isn't anything like what she meant to say, like a natural hair texture at all. And I don't say a goddamn thing neither. Do the other cultures that you get the hair from, and on top of that, I'm not one of those people who has ever made fun or say anything bad about girls with box braids or any type of braids. I completely agree that it would be out of line and cultural appropriation if I was trashing black girls for wearing braids. Them getting them, but this is, I'm reading it as she wrote it. That's
She's not very literate.
She's 16. Yeah. But that's not the situation at all. So leave me the F alone, or I'ma start getting real disrespectful. Okay?
Yikes. But you know what? I have to agree with her.
Somehow I knew you would.
I have to agree. How are you going to call out somebody for putting on hair that doesn't look like theirs, and you're doing the same exact thing?
So a few people ask me my opinion, because I don't normally get involved in that kind of stuff. I mean, it's really trivial to me, but then I got to really, truly think about it, because Donna will tell you, anybody who knows me knows I'm one of those people who like to think about both sides of the coin.
She sits the fence.
I do sometimes.
You have to drag her off.
I have to think about things, and I said, well, while she is a culture vulture, big time appropriator,
and she's a young woman,
where was the lie in what she said? Because I'm going to be honest, and I know a lot of black women are probably going to get mad at me. I'm not one of those people like Donovan that likes to wig shame people. I feel like you do you. You know, you put your on your head, whatever you want to put on your head. I don't care.
Girl, I'm glad you came over to the house. This is it. I'm about to get this thing. Yeah, take those panties off. Slow. Okay, yeah. Okay, take your eyelash. Oh, you got to take your eyelashes off? Okay, no problem. Oh, man, that bra. Yeah, okay, you take the bra. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to wait here in the bed. No problem. What do you mean you got to take your wig off? Who are you? It's Jake. It's Jake! That's my point. This ain't the same girl I met in a club?
So anyway, Donovan's crazy ass. So I had to really entertain what she said, and she's right to some degree. Now, I know there's a lot of women who wear wigs for protective styles and all of that, but the point that she made is, and I'm paraphrasing because what she said was completely illiterate, is how dare y'all find and muster the audacity to try to take me to task for wearing box braids when y'all walk around all day
looking like Morlocks. And for those that don't know who Morlocks are, they were the beasts in the Time Machine, 1964. Check it out. Rod Taylor.
How dare y'all walk around, you know, take me to task, but y'all walking around with wigs on all day, and I've seen a lot of wigs that are very ridiculous, that are, you know, and they just are, okay? I'm not trying to wig shame anybody. So she's saying, I think you need to monitor what's going on in your wig closet before you talk about my braids. And so a lot of black women didn't like what she said. It says, oh, well, we have no choice. We got to wear our hair. Like,
what do you mean you have no choice?
I'm telling you what they said. Okay?
You have beautiful thick hair, and you come with all kinds of different styles. You have a short style now, but your hair grows very, very fast, so, you know, you're in a different aspect, whatever the deal is. You have a choice, correct?
I do. Okay. And I could choose to wear a wig if I wanted to. So the point that I'm making is, I don't see where what she said was out of line. I thought, because I'm one of those people who like people who stick up for themselves. I'm not one of those people who like people that allow people to bully them. And I think that's what a lot of the black women and girls who were on her bumper were doing. I think they tried to bully her, and they were probably bullying her while sitting behind a keyboard with a wig on. Instead of just soaking in what she said, you guys wear wigs all the time, and I don't say nothing to you.
Look. If a person wants to wear a weave, wig, whatever, that's their business. It doesn't bother me. Now, are you going to attract me? Absolutely not. However, if you're going to wear, you know, a weave every now and then, I don't have a problem with that. It's when you wear the weave 24/7, 365, it makes me, as a man, and you ask most black men, we don't like weave. We're talking about mature black men. We're not talking about these little immature motherfuckers. We're talking about the mature black men that have shit. We don't like weave. We want you to be who you are, just like you want us to be who we are.
Right, and that's fair. I mean, that's a personal preference. You probably it'll probably be hard. You'll be hard pressed to find a woman.
I got a woman, Belle. Misty's in there.
They want a wig too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But I just think sometimes in our we gotta have we gotta be honest with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Farrakhan said it best, especially when Rachel Dolezal was in the news. You know, Rachel Dolezal is a white woman who is trans black, if you will. She says she's a black woman. I identify as a black woman. She loves that black.
I bleeped it up.
Farrakhan said, "Why are y'all mad?"
Yes,
at this white woman
who wants to be black
for going in the back alley and picking up what you threw away.
Oh, say it again.
He says, y'all, a lot of black women walk around with wigs and weaves and hair that don't belong to them, the eyes, you know, skin and all the stuff, makeup, trying to be something you're not. So basically, he said, y'all throwing the blackness away. Y'all mad at the white woman for picking it up. Clearly, there's something good about your blackness that you don't want. And so I think we need to be honest with ourselves. You know, can we call somebody else an appropriator when we're doing it to some degree too? Now, obviously,
very hypocritical.
You know, my hair could get boned straight if I was a straight. And so the straight hair is not an issue. It's the fact that
patience.
Well, she's being called out for wearing the black hairstyles, if you will. But yeah, black women wear white hair, if you will.
I would be, what's that word when you're like, when somebody does something that emulates you? I would be kind of like
flattered.
I would be flattered that this white woman wants to look in.
I just think a lot of times we in our community we get used to throwing rocks at people while forgetting we live in glass houses too. You know, and then so Al says, after what Oprah has done, is that gonna have you boycotting Greenleaf? Well, I'm gonna watch Greenleaf. Oprah ain't on there as much. I watch Greenleaf when it come on for free, kind of sort of on Netflix. Yes, I do like the show. And then Al says, Alicia, that's his daughter, has her holiday dance tonight. Cool.
Oh, right on.
Are you gonna be stalking the door and making sure she don't dance too close?
and watch her dance, Ashley. You know, she might throw a twerk in there, so you make sure you put a stop to it.
Right. And Samuel says, I sometimes wonder if people like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry have to play a certain role to get rich and stay rich, even to the point of pushing their gay agenda. That's in a lot of their movies. A lot of movies, but are equally covertly supporting black agenda items. Thoughts? No, absolutely. I think those are the things that they have to do. But you think about it, those things are very successful.
Yeah, the movie I stopped watching it when I started seeing a pattern in the movies where they just like destroy the black man. You know, what's that for Colored Girls where the guy threw the...
That was awful. There wasn't not one good black dude in that movie.
Yeah, it was just horrible.
Not one.
And so there is an agenda there, and unfortunately, and we talked about this last week, in Hollywood or on your show, you got to do some strange for the change if you want to stay on top.
Right.
And unfortunately, there are people that are willing to do it.
And I think that they are part of that agenda. I mean, if you watch any of the stuff that Tyler and Oprah produced, it's all madness, as Spike Lee once said, and that Tyler Perry got mad about, that Tyler Perry produces malt liquor for black people. It's just the lowest hanging fruit on the entertainment scale.
And look what they did to Monique's career because she wouldn't play ball.
They did do that to her.
Yeah.
Right. So a woman who is pro-black, you know, and is unapologetic, they all attempted to destroy her. Monique in her career.
But they uplifted a deadbeat like Lee Daniels.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Who was he is just the worst human being.
I mean, when Damon Dash has to come to a concert
and run up on
him for his money.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
You know?
And Al says, I'm having a hard time trying to stomach the Bad Bunny's verbiage. Yeah, I told you it was horrible. Her she's not very literate, but you know, she made a good point. And Al says, Donovan, I told that girl she can put that wig, eyelash, and fake nails, cheap perfume, and take your ass home.
Right.
He ain't talking about me.
Right.
All my stuff is real. Nails, eyelashes. I'm out of patience. Listen, again, I'm not wig shaming, eyelash shaming, fingernail. What do you call them?
What? Raptors?
Raptor nails. I'm not shaming anybody who does that.
No,
Listen,
if you want to do it, that's great.
beauty comes in all
Yes.
forms. There's some people who will say, well, you wear lipstick. Yes,
Right.
I do. I got to wear a little lipstick
Well,
now
no,
and again.
but
you
what
know?
kills me about all that is they get mad at me because I have an opinion on what I like.
Well, yeah, that's your opinion, you
Yeah.
know. But I think we should have, and I'm saying it's about you necessarily. We should be able to have opinions without being judgmental.
Right.
You know, I think that's where the line gets drawn. But I mean, me personally, it's not something I've ever really got into. All the
But how can I not be judgmental? You can't tell me you're pro-black and you got that shit on your head. I mean, it's a confusing message. How are you telling me you're pro-black, but yet
would you have a problem with a woman wearing a wig if it was like an Afro wig?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
You
Because
just don't like the European.
I don't like the European.
Got
And
it.
most black men don't. We don't have a problem. You want to wear a wig? Let it match your hair. And stop with the bullshit again. White women do it. No, they don't. The extensions on their hair matches their hair.
Well, they do it to some degree.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
I mean,
but-
if you're talking about like style.
Yeah,
But
right.
I think that we don't have the room to chastise
Others.
especially if we're doing it too. And Al says, could it be that some of those haters are mad at this girl because she can afford the box braids and has a good grade of hair to put in different
Yes.
styles like some dynamic sister I know? Well,
Yes, I think that's true, Al. Very, very true.
y'all know how I feel about the whole good hair argument. Okay, I don't like the whole good hair argument because we know in our society good hair means it's the silky, curly, straight.
I don't believe that.
But that's what
yeah.
people think of when they think of good hair. I think the hair that's good that grows out of your scalp, however
Yeah.
that does.
That's what makes you you.
Yeah, because I don't have what people would say good hair.
You got
if
thick
will.
hair.
So are they mad because they can't? I don't think they're mad because they can't afford the box braids. I think black people, black women, and black people, we have a right to be a little vexed behind the appropriation that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
I really think
Yeah.
we think that, but I think we should have moral standing before we try to call somebody else to the carpet.
Yes. Now, I'm going to have a discussion with you about how we get mad about whatever the deal is, people appropriating our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is because we let them. We are black, person of color. I'm not a person of color. I'm a black man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And I got you. So as far as letting them, we don't have the ability to stop them. Now, this is what I'll say. So I take an
Right.
example. Like a lot of times we've heard R&B music and hip-hop music has been under attack.
Dinah.
Offset from the Migos made a comment that says that hip-hop, and I'm paraphrasing, is black culture. End of discussion. It's black culture.
Yes.
It originated from black culture. It is ours, and a lot of people took issue with that.
Wait, is he talking about hip hop like rap?
He's saying
itself?
in general, it's
Yeah,
ours.
hip hop, the culture is ours.
Right.
We started it.
And I guess basically I'm paraphrasing, if I could, that don't
That's right.
get it twisted that you see all these other people doing it, that now it belongs to us. It belongs to black
Right.
people.
It's
and he's
specific
right.
to black people
So-
and the urban
Right.
streets. Now, I will concede
Mhm.
hip hop started in New York. You got to concede that.
Right. So back to your point of us letting them, we can't stop them from doing it.
Right.
However, we allow them to take over when we don't do what we do best.
Exactly.
Like when we start to try to, assimilate and do things that aren't that doesn't originate with us. So you have these people like the Justin Timberlake's, Adele, and all these other people come in and do R&B because we've transitioned to doing what you call auto tune and stuff. So then you get these other people come in there and actually do real R&B. Then that kind of stuff becomes under attack.
Right.
Nobody takes the Kardashians to task for turning themselves into
Hoes. How many black men have those women destroyed in their careers? Think about it. Think about it.
That's not what I was gonna say.
How is a parent gonna raise girls to be hoes to destroy NBA, NFL players' careers? And that's their claim to fame.
Oh, no, Lord have mercy.
But I'll give it to Kim Kardashian. She's maturing to where she says, you know what? This big butt and a smile is going to get me so far. I got kids now, so I got to start thinking about the future. But, the mother's pimping out the daughters. That's a damn shame.
However,
Okay, sorry.
nobody takes them to task for, trying to turn themselves into black-looking women, if you will. There'll never be a black woman. But nobody says anything overall about them doing it. You know, but we take black women to task for doing stuff. So as far as allowing them to do it, it's not. We don't have any
say so.
Say so. Right. But all we can do is try to be more of who we are.
Right. But okay, I'll give you an example of how we can control it. Would you consider Vanilla Ice hip hop? They beat that motherfucker when he came into the industry, and they were like, "Get the fuck up out of here with this bullshit."
The thing though is with like Vanilla Ice and your Third Bases and all those cats.
Yeah, Third Bases was accepted because
all of them. They weren't trying to be black.
Right.
They obviously you could tell that they grew up around in the hood, if you will, in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. But I never got the impression that they were trying to be black.
Right.
They knew they were white, you know, Beastie Boys and all, and they had their own little things. Nowadays, we've gotten to the point to where a lot of these rappers, and you know, white rappers and stuff are, you know, trying to be black, if you will, whatever that means, you know. So I think that's where the difference is.
Okay.
I don't think there's a problem with them doing it. Just pay homage to the
legends.
To the legends, the people.
The history.
Like G-Eazy. You know, he's I'm a little bit on the hood side, so forgive me. But G-Eazy, he's from up north, the Bay Area, if you will. And he does not do an album without paying homage to your E40s, Too Shorts, and
in his area.
You know, all those.
The Bay Area.
He's like, I would not be anything without them. He always does that. So to me, that's cool. Okay. You know, and I like G-Eazy.
Well, you know, the funny thing is when I do talk to young people about hip hop, it's like we talk about Prince and Michael Jackson. You can talk to just about anybody in our generation, and we can tell you about our parents' type music, the Motown story, whatever. But when you talk to hip hop, which is what's created in our generation, and you talk to these younger kids, these millennials, they don't even know who Houdini is. You're like, what?
Well, they reference people like Eminem, like I get tired of hearing people say Eminem is the greatest to ever do it.
What?
I've heard a lot of people say that he is. You know,
one
of the best MCs out there. Now, is Eminem good?
Yeah,
he's good, but is he the best?
No,
like, how do you even fix your mouth? Not mouth, but mouth.
Right.
To even say that, you
and
know.
Since we're talking about hip hop, let's bow our heads real quick and give a quick prayer to Big Bad Hank of the Sugar Hill Gang who passed last week.
Yes. No.
It was last week. Last week. Big Bad Hank.
I think he been passed.
No, he passed.
I think I saw that article trending, but he was already dead. I could be wrong. But I think, he's been dead for a couple years now.
No, I don't think so.
Google it.
I think it was, you're talking about the other guy, the smaller guy.
I mean, I could be wrong. Shit, I know everything, but not everything.
Right. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. But.
Right. So anyway, Al, you say, I
think some women.
So he said, will you tell Donovan how this black lady was describing one of my black co-workers to me? I don't remember that.
I'm going to tear you in your
But he also said, I think some women wouldn't have to wear their weaves and wigs if they wouldn't put it in different dyes and chemicals to change it to create
they destroy their hair. They destroy their hair, and it's sad. To impress who?
I say this all the time. You know, I know we're kind of just rambling now, but see, when I was coming up, I remember my grandmama and them wearing wigs.
Yeah, my grandmother. Let's go. We going to the TG&Y.
You know, grandma and them had lived their life, the hair thinned out a little bit. They put a little bun or a cascade or a wig on. You know, you expected the older women, and then women in Hollywood, and then some women did, but not like this phenom that we have now. I mean, you see young girls, like, what happened to your hair?
But see, this is why I'm alarmed by it. Because you don't see the Mexican girls putting on wigs. You don't see the white girls putting on wigs.
They do.
No, they do.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about in the volume per their population. You don't see that.
You know.
And that's what alarms me.
And again,
And another thing is economically it alarms me because when you got to go buy that wig, you're not going to the black shop.
Right. True. My thing is, and again, I gotta keep saying this. I'm not trying to wig shame nobody.
I am. No.
We know Donovan. I ain't trying to wig shame nobody. But
Al's daughter has a lot of hair.
They both do.
Man, I was like, how is she walking? Well, it's wintertime now, so that's kind of good. But in the summertime, how is she walking around with all that hair? That's got to be...
You manage. This is my problem with the wig thing. Do y'all not care that we know it's a wig? Because
some of them don't.
I mean, some of them was like, that's a wig. Like, that's a wig.
I saw a girl at Winco. Remember the Raggedy Ann doll?
Yes.
With everybody had back in the day. Beautiful doll. I mean, I thought it was a nice doll. I saw a girl with a Raggedy Ann black girl. It was red like that. It had like the cords.
Shut up.
No, seriously, it looked like a mop. Seriously, it did. And as she passed me, I'm looking at her, and of course I giggled because whenever I see clown, I got a good giggle. And Raggedy Ann was based on clown. But I'm looking at it, in my head, the first thing that came to me was, and this girl had to be at least in her early 20s, was, does she not know she looks ridiculous? Because she did. I mean, literally, she did. It didn't, there was nothing coordinated. I didn't see a costume, so obviously she wasn't going to a party, but it didn't look good at all.
So I'm gonna say this about myself, okay? I'm nothing to just me. But I still come from the generation where I watch my mom. Y'all know why I wear red nail polish? Like, I predominantly wear red nail polish. Y'all know why I wear red nail polish?
Because Mom said you got to use what you got to get what you want.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's right.
She said that, but she didn't mean
you gotta close the deal.
She didn't say bust it open now, Donovan.
Right. Gotta close the deal, but go ahead.
I wear red nail polish because my mom wore red nail polish. It's the only, for the most part, the only nail polish my mom wore.
Your mom wore that lipstick.
And red lipstick, okay? Right? You got big lips, you wear red lipstick and all that, okay? I also wear it because that's what, that was the choice of nail polish back in old Hollywood, if you will, back in the day, and so I like it. But I come from the generation of, I'm going to give y'all my broody routine. I paint my nails every Friday or Saturday. You make sure my nails and, my feet are manicured. My hair is clean and all of that. It's just a ritual that you go through. And so I don't understand. I guess the point that I'm making is I care about my appearance. I don't do a lot. I don't wear a lot of makeup and none of that stuff. So I don't understand the phenom, if you will, now. And I'm speaking to women, especially us. Of women just going out looking like anything. I don't understand that.
They're in pajamas.
I get it. Sometimes you're not having one of those days where you want to get dressed.
Right.
But I don't understand the dishevelness of, to me, it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
And it's also a lost art. How much we got time? So podcast, I'm sorry if we get out of here. We will see you on Sunday. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's a lost art of grooming, if you will, that mothers aren't teaching this art to their daughters anymore. Mm-hmm. We are not teaching our daughters, and I'm not saying you got to be the most zhuzhed up looking woman out there, but I'm just saying the art of being proper when you especially you're in public. I don't think women are teaching their daughters that stuff anymore.
No, they're not, because I'm taking classes over at the aviation college over at Valley, and it was raining this week, right? Mm-hmm. I'm in the lunchroom, and I'm going to the classroom. Now, unfortunately for my Caucasian people, when you guys' hair gets wet, it does resemble an animal. It does smell like an animal. It does. It does. Like a wet animal, and, that's just how it is. But I go to this.
I just want to say it is white people.
I didn't say white people.
You said you did.
I said my Caucasian. I didn't say white. I said Caucasian. But anyway. But here's the thing, and this is just me alone, okay, not D. I got to put that disclaimer out there. I'm at the Valley College, and as I'm standing there going to my class, it's raining. Okay, Valley College is a junior college, so this isn't like.
I'm scared to even know where you're going with this.
Here's where I'm going with it. It was raining and stuff. Weaves, I don't mind a weave if it's expensive. I never smelled such a funky it's just true, D. I'm just sorry. When you got a weave in your hair, unfortunately.
You making me bust a sweat. I'm busting a sweat.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is a fact. When you have a weave, you're not washing your hair every day. And some of these girls, they get a weave and it's in there for 2 months like it's braids or something. And I'm telling you, I have never smelled anything like that, and I'm not a tall guy. I'm 5'10", so I tower over a lot of girls. And you can see the weave.
And it's like 60 degrees out there. That's sweat.
No. So I'm looking at these girls. No, true story. I'm looking at these girls. I'm a little taller than them by average, right? So I can see the top of their head, and you can see the weave is coming out, and I'm just like, are they really out here like this? Are they really out here like this? It's a depressing situation. It's depressing. I know you're crying. You don't know what to say. But it's sad. It's sad. It is sad that we're in that kind of condition. It's just, you're actually coming out here like that. These are young girls that should know better about their appearance.
Forgive him, Father. Somebody, whoever, if you're out there, for he know not what he
I do know what I'm doing, because when I see my people looking in a shabbily condition, I gotta say something. Now,
did you say something to him?
Yeah, no, I didn't say anything, but I did give the look like, because here was the funny thing about it. They were like, "What's that smell?" What? I didn't say it. They were saying it, and I'm like this in my head. You don't realize that it's your weave? You don't realize it's your weave. And I would like to say, a good friend of mine, executive producer Al Jackson, put up, welfare should be used to help you, what did he say? What was the quote?
Welfare is to help you get on your feet, not stay on your ass.
Do you know how many people took that quote to task?
Yes, I do.
I mean, they were like, how dare you? I was like, wait a minute, but isn't that a true statement?
I'm just getting over you talking about funky weaves in the rain. Lord have mercy.
There is no worse smell.
I should have probably cut Donovan off a long time ago, but anyway.
I'm just telling you, I can't believe that we will walk outside like that.
Al says, I once got in trouble for hiding my grandmother's styrofoam wig headstand.
Yeah, I remember that stuff too.
Both my grandmas had a styrofoam wig stand. Yeah, I remember that.
And if they really, highball, they had two of them. So if you mess with one.
Was that you that put up the picture of the, I guess there was some hats hung on the wall and then some wigs, there was some wigs hanging on the wall too?
You got a baseball club, you put your hat up. Okay, great. Now we got the wig.
We acting silly now, y'all. And Al says, my grandfather went to the barbershop every Saturday to get his head shaved and mustache trimmed and took me with him and told me as a man, keep your personal appearance up. Don't get ready. Important. Stay ready. Absolutely.
Yeah,
no, I mean,
it's important.
But again, that's a lost art in all seriousness.
I'm just saying, I couldn't believe.
People aren't,
it's raining.
People aren't teaching that. Oh, shit.
Hygiene.
Why they tell me my boobs is all out and stuff?
Why would I say anything?
People aren't teaching the hygiene and just grooming and stuff to their daughters like it was back in the day. Yeah. Like I learned, and it wasn't even necessarily like my mom had to take me. I just watched her or watched my grandmothers, do those things.
The funny thing that you bring that up to is like, what I used to like is when you pass a woman and you would smell her scent, her cologne or whatever you call it.
And I be smelling good, don't
I? Yeah. But look, but now these younger girls, you pass them and you don't smell anything at all. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, you lied. You just said you smell funky.
Well, no. On a rainy day. Why would you let your weave get wet on a rainy day? And everybody's gonna be wet in a room. But no. But I'm just saying, when you pass a younger person, it's like you said, they've lost that art of, because there's some women like you guys that have a thing on. I'd be like, ooh, what is that? I want to get my girlfriend that. I want to get my wife that. Because I might not know what that brand is.
Let me read Al's comment.
What did Al say? My grandmother.
No, the one, but the last one.
Oh, somebody must have took a dump in that girl's head. Oh, so you smelled it before like that? See what I'm talking about?
Al, you smelled funky weaves before? Have you smelled a funky weave recently?
No, but I agree with you. The art. I'm a man. I have to address the women. That art is lost because it's like these girls just get up. You go to Walmart, they got flip flops. They're still in their pajamas, and they don't even got curlers anymore. They just come in there. Yeah. Remember your mom used to wear curlers because she's in a rush?
Yeah.
And she's gonna take them out when she gets back home, but she has to go.
Right.
These girls just show up. I'm just like,
And I would venture to say I've smelled some girls who smell like they ain't took a bath within earshot of a couple of days.
And it's sad.
Sad. Al says, my mom used to wash me and my sister's hair in the kitchen sink.
Mm-hmm. Remember those days?
I remember.
Well, I remember back in our days in high school, Dee would come in, and JJ Fab was doing their little thing. She had a little saucer thing, and Dee would have these little burns by her ear.
and burns on the neck. Those is really burns.
Yes. Remember your mom would hold your head right here?
I remember. Mm-hmm. So anyway, y'all, we acting silly now. Yes. We don't have anything else. We will be back here on Sunday. Please, if you have any more to say, or you want us to talk about something, sometimes as you see, we done got off into silly season and talk about fucking weaves.
No, that's serious season. Ladies, please, if you know it's raining, cover your head and wash your weave. You got hygiene. You got to do it. If your stuff has been, take it out.
Wash your weave.
Yeah, take it out or whatever you got to do. I mean, seriously, it is a problem. It is a serious problem. Because I get tired of seeing the white and the Mexicans laughing at us when they shouldn't be laughing.
We don't give a damn if they laughing at us.
I know. A clown will be a clown.
You know what? Anyway, y'all. And now Al says in closing, Donovan, my stepdad, used to hide his
shitty white drawers at the very bottom. Oh, yeah. God. Lord.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. See you guys again next week.
See you, YouTube.
Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response?